I opened the cupboard under the sink looking for dish soap. There were wine bottles in there. Not one, not two. And in about 4 seconds, every strange evening I had spent in that home for months rearranged itself into something that finally made sense for me. She was good all day. We got along great. Then I would come over in the evening, and by the end of the night, she was somebody else. But in between that, she would go into the kitchen over and over, and she would offer to make me the best food I'd ever eaten in my life. I mean, she's a fantastic cook. Loved the food. I used to wonder why she treated me so well, and I found out. I've spent about 9 years now sitting with men who are somewhere in the middle of something like this. Some of them are married, some of them are dating. All of them are holding some version of that same sentence. If I can just get her right, this works. I can sit in that chair because I sat in the other one first. And here's the part that matters more than any of it. I walked into my first meeting for completely the wrong reason. I was not going for help. I was going for information. I wanted a method. And that room did something to me that I did not sign up for. And that is what this is about. Once I found those bottles, I did what I do. I went and found out. I went to Al-Anon, and I did not go to one meeting. I went to a meeting a day for about a week and a half. Different rooms, different times, different sides of town. And I was speed dating those Al-Anon meetings. Understand what I thought I was doing here. I thought I was gathering intelligence. I thought somewhere in one of those rooms there was a person who was going to tell me the words to say or the things to do or the approach that finally works. And I would take it home and apply it, and she would just get better. That's the plan. I was on a mission, and the mission was her. I wanted it for her, and I wanted it for me. Nobody in those rooms handed me anything. That is not how it works. Nobody tells you what to do. People just talk about their own lives. And somewhere in the middle of the second or third one, somebody I'd never met described their own behavior. And it was mine, word for word. And you cannot unhear that. I spent my whole life fixing everybody else's problems and never touching my own. And I want to be careful how I say this next part, because it sounds harsh. And I do not mean it as an accusation. I mean it as a description of something I did for decades. Fixing her was where I was hiding. It is a good hiding place. It looks like love. It looks like loyalty. It looks like the most unselfish thing a man can do. Nobody is going to accuse you of neglecting yourself while you're busy caring for somebody else. And it works. Because as long as her problem is the problem in the room, mine never has to come up. I did not like myself very much back then. That is the honest version. And a man who does not like himself will take a project over a mirror every single time. So I found those bottles, and I did not just find out what was wrong with her. I got handed something to do about it, and I grabbed it with both hands. The word they had for me was codependent. And what I needed was not a method for her. It was the steps for me. If this is landing on you, go ahead and subscribe. I do this kind of talk regularly, and I would rather you not have to go looking for it. Now here's how you know something actually changed. Because it's not a feeling. At some point, she loaned me a car of hers to drive. On the surface, that's generosity. And I want to be fair to her. She was generous. She paid for things. She paid for more than half of everything we did. But something that is given can be recalled, and every single time it gets recalled, you get reminded who is holding the other end of the string. The old version of me takes that car and is grateful for it, which means the old version of me is now available to be pulled on. What I did instead was drive it for a little while, and the first time I felt the weather change between us, I put it back in her garage and started driving my own car again. I didn't announce it. I did not make a point out of it. I just quietly stopped playing. A week goes by where we are not talking at all. And suddenly I get a text. She wants her car back immediately. I asked her if she had checked her garage. It had been sitting there the whole time. And that made her angrier than anything else had. And what she said was that I was being controlling. I want you to hear that clearly because it's a whole thing in one sentence. I had not done anything to her. I had not argued. I had not confronted her. I had not given her a speech about boundaries. I just stopped being reachable by that particular move. She turned the car in early after that, and I honestly think that was to punish me. It landed on nothing. I didn't want the car. That is what this actually looks like from the outside. It's not the strength. There's no stand. It is just a man who's no longer available for the transaction. Somewhere in there, she quit drinking, and she was proud of that, and she should have been. That's not a small thing. Here's what I learned, and I've watched it play out 100 times since. Stopping and recovering are not the same thing. She quit, and she was still good during the day and difficult at night. Same schedule, the bottle was gone, and the pattern kept its appointment. I'm not saying that to take anything away from anybody. I'm saying it because there's a man watching this who has already gotten her to stop or gotten himself to stop, and he cannot understand why nothing got better. Nothing got better because taking the thing away was never the work. The thing was not the problem. The thing was the solution to a problem that is still sitting right there. And it does not have to be alcohol. It can be a substance. It can be an affair. It can be jealousy. It can be spending. It can be a phone. The device changes. What's underneath, it does not. Now, I have to be careful because I do not want you hearing something I'm not saying. There's a couple I've known a long time. One of them got into recovery. The other one never did. Still drinks, still needs it, never went to anything. And that marriage did not end, but it got better. They are still together, and the one who did the work is genuinely all right. Not pretending, actually all right. Because they stopped letting it run them, and the lines between them are clear, and both of them know exactly where those lines are. I've seen that more than once, but I'm not going to stand here and tell you that is the likely outcome because it's not. Most of the time, both people have to find their way into some kind of recovery, and they almost never get there at the same time. So here's the honest version, and it's the only promise I'm going to make you. Doing your own work does not guarantee you're going to keep her. It guarantees you are going to be okay either way. So what do you actually do? You have to quit watching what she's doing. You have a spreadsheet in your head of everything she does, how much and when, and you've been calling that caring. It's not caring, it's surveillance. And it has never once fixed anybody. Accept her for who she is, not who she would be if she got right. Who she is today. And then you have to make some decisions about what you will and will not do, and then keep them. That is the part everybody skips. Deciding is not the hard part. The hard part is the fourth time she tests it. And let me tell you what's coming so it doesn't surprise you. There's a strong chance she's not going to like the new you. She's got used to the old one, and the old one is useful. Maybe you both end up accepting each other and you come out of this stronger than you went in. That happens. I want that for you. But yet, that is to be determined. For me, it didn't go that way. And as much as I cared about that woman, and I did, walking away was the right move. I don't regret that. Because somewhere in the middle of trying to fix her, I learned how to like myself and love myself and respect myself. I went in there to get her fixed, and I'm the one who got fixed.